Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead.
Welcome! Yes, I decided to not use the horror scare the pants off of people intro to spare you for the Writeathon. So yes. So welcome to my channel. You are at social stream number 6, I believe. I think. Probably.
I think so. If I was 5, then I think you're 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So welcome to my channel. My name is Laura Nettles. My channel is called Laura Nettles. I mostly write horror, so surprise, surprise. But yeah. So if we want to go around and introduce ourselves, starting with Katie.
Sure. Hello. Thank you for inviting me. That was a beautiful intro. I am Katie Ann Writes. I post writing content. I'm usually a fantasy writer, but I've been dipping my toes, and by toes I mean my entire body, into the romance writing category because someone convinced me that I had the gall, the guts, the ambition, the audacity to do that. So I make videos about my writing process. I talk about writing a lot and talk about random crap. I'm very chaotic, so you see what you see is what you get.
Perfect.
Not agree. Oh, thank you.
Grayson!
What do, everybody? My name is Grayson Wilde, and I'm back with Pride. I like diving into fantasy and warm mugs of coffee. And I do find it funny that you mentioned going from fantasy to romance, because Kira or Rose has actually been pushing me to that.
I seriously think it's happening to everyone. There's like something in the water. Like we're all getting romanced.
I have a dark fantasy romance that I'm working on a little.
See, it's the summer of romance, and I am all here for it. I will always be enabling that.
But I know like paranormal romance existed because I didn't pay attention. She's like, that's a thing, right? Because I mentioned, I was like, I need to have my witch, werewolf / vampire moment. I need to have that moment. She's like, love triangle. I was like, in a fantasy? She says, yes, love triangle, do it. I'm like, I can't do romance. She goes, but you can, so you're gonna do it.
I love that. Awesome. That is incredible.
Porscha!
Hey everybody, I am Porscha Simmons, and I occasionally, sometimes, not very often, at this point, make content on my YouTube channel of the same name. I am a poet and an essayist, and I don't have a romance writer's bone in my body, so look, keep the romance over there.
I didn't think I did.
I didn't either. I was like, me, write contemporary romance? No. But then hearing
not contemporary.
So I mean, no, I like romance so much. I often wonder why my husband married me. I'm like the least romantic person that ever lived.
Yeah, you have a newsletter, don't you?
I do have a newsletter. I have a newsletter on disability and creativity, and it is at porscha.substack.com. So that's easy enough to remember. So come visit us. We are doing a soft relaunch, which just means got really sick, didn't write the newsletter, but it's coming again. So come subscribe. And I also did a wonderful interview with our valet host here. We had a really great time. So please go check out the podcast that we did together. It was so much fun.
Yes. So I do have a podcast called Twisted Tendrils, Horrific Writing Advice. I just scripted episode 13 tonight, so that will be out next Friday. And episode 14 is already recorded because that's an interview with D.L. Tillery about healing through horror. And that is Roy's squeaky toy. So
impeccable.
Yeah. So Porscha and I did a episode on finding our bliss through writing. So that was fun. Yeah. I'll say hello to everybody. So Michael popped in before, so I'm trying to just leave a message to say have lots of fun. Thank you. I worked really hard on it for 5 minutes.
It's so nice.
It's so beautiful. Like, wow. Impeccable.
Caitlin, yay! The name of the song is April Spring? Hang on. April Sky by 10 Towers. So they're on Epidemic Sound. If you want to use them, you gotta subscribe to Epidemic Sound. Thank you. Bria, hi! Hello, Lisa. Hello, Dolores. Hello, Jules. Yes. Elaine, my old critique partner. It's Social Sprint 6. No, you dived in head first.
Yeah. Grammar. I have a degree in it, but
My degree is a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
yeah.
So, animation, so we didn't do much writing. Mike said, hello friends, cooking dinner and watching, so we'll definitely be lurking. And join us on the romance side. We have cookies.
Delicious.
Are they laced with a love potion, though? Let's see. June brides are a thing. And romance books, I think, are close to 80% of published books. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Note, get Porscha to write a romance. We have all the nice sweets, and some of them are spicy desserts, too. Oh, dear. Not only is romance genre in the air, but inconsistent author tutors. Hi, Becca. Nothing wrong. Hi, Savion. Awesome sauce. So I thought we could go around and talk about what we're working on for the Writeathon or in general. Are you doing camp? So go, Katie.
All right. So I am doing 2 things for the Writeathon and I guess camp, theoretically. Not really doing camp, but so I'm currently drafting a book, a sequel to one that I wrote earlier this year, which is, it's been a pain in my butt, but it's fine. And then I'm also revising that book that I wrote earlier this year. It's the romance that has turned my writing life upside down. So those are the 2 things I will be working on and probably doing them for Camp Nano. I mean, I'll be working on them through camp. I'll be enjoying participating, but I probably won't use the website. I haven't in many years because the website's a time. I think we all know this. It's a joke at this point, but like NaNoWriMo website is crap.
So if you don't know, the Writeathon has badges. So if you go in the media kit, in the link tree, Roy, squeaky toy, there are badges. So yeah, you can get badges here as well as Nano.
Just all the fun, really. The badges are the best part.
I may have printed them out and put them in my journal.
Nice.
That's so fun.
For Writeathon, I'm pretty much preparing for Camp Nano. I'm working on A Druid's Oath, which is my YA fantasy, and I'm finishing up some world building. I had an old map, but in my file, for some reason, it's shrunk and I can't get it bigger. So I'm literally making a gigantic map right now.
Ooh, fun.
That'll go on the wall. I have a small map there, but that's for book 2 and 3. This is a different map.
The only map I have on my wall is one of the solar system I did for my sci-fi duology that's on the back burner. But, yeah, fun times.
So, what am I working on? Okay. So far for the World Writeathon, I have not been doing writing per se. I have been working on my journal because there's a journal ambassador program that I'm going to apply to. So, yay. So, coloring and creative things in journals is not writing, but the writing that I am putting off is my poetry chapbook as well as my essay series, which have a fellowship to work on my essay collection that starts in August. So I had better start doing something. So I think I'm enjoying that space between thrill and panic. And I have like people have paid money for me to do this, and I should do it, but we're just not going to do it today. So that will probably be my camp project. I don't typically do camp, but I probably should. Please don't take your funds back, kind benefactor.
Awesome. So for the Writeathon, I had a goal to work on 3 flash pieces, vlog, and there was something else. What else did I write down? Rework. Oh, so edit the 2 flashes, rework the 3rd, and vlog. So far, I have edited the 2 flash, and then I snuck away from the Writeathon and went onto Discord to the Toronto Writers server and got beta reader feedback from 7 people, and then came back and incorporated it and re-edited it again, and they're on submission now. So those 2 are done. I scripted episode 13 of the podcast, and now I am on to my 3rd flash, which I should hopefully finish this stream, and then I will write a new flash. So they're just everywhere. And my news is that I got a manuscript request for my middle grade horror novel today.
Oh my god, congratulations!
So that's what I'm going to be doing all next week, is like, fine tooth comb one more time. So that's my like up top to-do list now. After this, and for June, I'll probably just keep writing flashes and short stories for a second horror collection, because I capped my first collection at 100 stories, so I've had to start pruning to get it down to 100. So there, like 50 of them are drabbles, so like 100-word stories, but then there's a bunch of flash and 10 short stories in there. So yeah, I need to start putting my new stuff in a new collection. That's me.
Nice.
Joel says, as a literature major, I always laughed at the business majors because they had to write 50-page analytic reports. And the longest page I had to write was 12. Did someone say cookies? I did now. Yay for maps. Let's see, Jabria knocked out 2.5 chapters of their current whip this morning, but now he switched to writing fluffy little pieces, featuring our main couple. Is this going to be like bonus content, or how are you going to get those out to people? Because that would be fun for newsletters or something. Let's see. I put them through an obscene amount of drama this morning. At the least I can do is give them some lovey-dovey time. Though you know it's past my bedtime when I start mixing up homophones. I also have been avoiding writing thus far, but I made a farting corky timer video. It made me giggle. I look forward to seeing this. Thank you. All the congratulations. Okay. So, yeah. I thought we could start with a 20-minute timer and then get to chatting. So, the first chat discussion is favorite lines you have read or written, if you have any. If not, we can talk about something else. But whatever floats your boat. So, let's start. Not remove, add to stream. Awesome sauce. Good night, Caitlin. You open tomorrow. Oh, dear. Okay, so let's start this sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty. That was the first sprint. How did everybody do? What did you get done?
I did pretty good. I reread a chapter I wrote earlier today and started planning out the scenes for the next one. So
Fantastic.
I worked out a key in how I want things to look, so I don't just go in blind with my symbols.
Nice.
Ooh.
nice.
I actually had a really good idea for something I'm working on, so I actually just jotted down like the bullet points so I wouldn't forget.
Hooray! I love breakthroughs. I worked on a flash piece. I am incorporating some feedback. It's getting a lot darker now. So, yeah, a little bit of gore in this one.
Ooh.
So, fun times. Not quite as gory as one of the ones I was beta reading earlier this morning, but yeah. I did nothing! Nice. Yes. Let's see. Rebecca went to bed. Good night, Becca.
Hey, Becca.
And Jules is making a countdown timer with an illustrated purple hippo.
Ooh.
Boss hit over 1K for the day. Didn't start writing until 2 hours ago, so I'm happy with that. Added a slightly romantic scene and tried to convince myself that it wasn't totally stupid. Yeah. Let's see. Read a few pages of my whip and added 297 words. 200 even.
Nice.
I think I'm ready for nothing.
Me too.
Nice. Okay, so I don't know if anybody thought of any, but do you guys have any favorite lines? Oh, we have one more comment. Still working on the fun and games, trying to figure out if I'm capable of adding a romantic subplot that's slightly enemies to lovers. How does one do it?
I believe in you. You can do it. It's fun.
Thanks for the nothing. Cool. Favorite lines?
Goodness. I did think about it, but then it just went right out of the brain. I actually pulled up a tab. So one of my favorite books of all time is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. And the opening line of that one is, Victor readjusted the shovels on his shoulder and stepped gingerly over an old half-sunken grave. Which, I love that line because it's kind of fun. It has some intrigue. Like, why is this man digging up a bunch of graves? Like, what is he up to? What's he doing? He's a little bit strange. So that's one I really loved. And that whole book is like perfection, in my opinion. I might be a little biased because I love V.E. Schwab, but I really like it. So
Awesome. Go for it, Grayson.
Mine's from my brain dump that actually led me to start writing Druid's Oath. Where is it? Here it is. Several sparks of lightning began to dance lively over my skin, and I rise to my feet, placing my hand above the king's head. Turning my gaze, I look directly into my father's eyes as my palm makes contact with Ragnor's skull, his screams of agony echoing against my eardrums. I don't look away until his cries die out and his body collapses to the cold marble floor at my feet. I watch in silence as I stand in Ragnor's blood, a traitor.
Ooh, amazing.
This is a 13-year-old, by the way.
Holy cow!
13-year-olds have the audacity.
Casually killing his grandfathers. Nothing big.
Oh, gosh.
Favorite lines, Red will always be the first line of The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. There were no marigolds in the spring of 1941 because Piccola was having her father's baby. And Toni Morrison is the queen of first lines, so that's like one of my favorite lines of all time. Favorite line that I've written is from an essay of mine that I wrote, and it is, I told a lie on the day of my wedding dress fitting. I blasphemed among the lace, tulle, and shiny white teeth of the overtly chipper woman in David's bridal.
So good.
That is so good. Oh my god. Where's the rest of it?
Nice. So one of my favorite lines is by Neil Gaiman from American Gods, which I've never read, but I heard this line. And it says, "The house smelled musty and damp and a little sweet, as if it were haunted by the ghosts of long dead cookies."
Oh,
Isn't that intriguing?
it is.
Okay, there is a paragraph that I love. This was by William Joyce from Nicholas St. North, the first one of the Rise of the Guardians.
Mhm.
So, you know, the movie with Santa and Jack Frost and the Easter Bunny. But this one's the one with Santa. But it's so good! So, the children were amazed, even disappointed. Lessons were never canceled, and rarely over early. Sometimes they went on for so long that Ulrich would have to stop time for a bit so they could go on even longer. This always caused great excitement because everything Ulrich taught them was, without fail, fun. Not only did he show them how to make water flow backwards and to properly dam a stream, he also taught them how to climb most everything, build catapults, and best of all, the secrets of imagination. To understand pretending, Ulrich was fond of saying, is to conquer all barriers of time and space.
I like that.
That's good.
Middle grade! What? So good. And then, of course, the beginning of the Eddie Dickens books, the first one, A House Called Awful End. When Eddie Dickens was 11 years old, both his parents caught some awful disease that made them turn yellow, go a bit crinkly around the edges, and smell of old hot water bottles. It's okay. The cure for it was to be under bedding made of wrinkly old newspapers and to suck on ice cubes shaped like famous generals. Like, his imagination is so out there. I love Arthur.
That is wild.
I'm
Yes.
still stuck on the smell of old water bottles because my grandma used to have some and I hated those water bottles. So I'm just like,
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, it says, I have turned off my overhead light and I'm in bed. It's the final countdown. If I don't call in after the next sprint, it's because I fell asleep. Ooh, I like the line from Great Gatsby. He was one of those who used to sneer most bitterly at Gatsby on the courage of Gatsby's liquor. Pretty provocative. Favorite line I've written in this project: the woman's kisses were a drug, and goddammit, I was an addict. It worked really hard on the nothing. Age is just a number. Slippery slope, my friend. Let's see. So this is one that Savion has written. Cyrus reaches for me across our table to get ready to comfort me, which was kind of him, even though he had no idea what was wrong. What's wrong? I can't be a good friend if you don't talk to me about it. I quickly pulled my arm back and sipped my vanilla latte, hoping that Cyrus would stop poking me like I'm not okay. At least I think I'm okay.
denial.
Are you really okay, though? One of my favorite lines of all time is when Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The ships hung in the sky in much the same way that bricks don't. Yes! Yes. And hello, Lindsay. Yeah, one of the favorite lines I've written was about the trees in a graveyard of a church, and I wrote about how the trees are reaching to the sky for salvation.
Ooh.
So that was fun. Spoiler, he's not.
We don't say.
Wow.
I don't know. I usually have favorite like lines and paragraphs from my stories. I don't know. Usually there's like a little bit that seems to stand on its own and be awesome. I hope. But yeah. Let's see. Emily says, I think this is my fave front from my current whip. Wind and rain lashed my face harder than any disgruntled lover slap ever had.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
it's a lot of rain.
Is it just rain or is it rain and tears? That's awesome. I know how to work StreamYard. There we go. Yeah. So, let's see. Where's my time thing? We've got a while to go. Oh my gosh. Till the next sprint. Okay, so I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? It's after dark. I do have the spiciest of my banners.
I love a good spicy banner. Oh,
What are your favorite guilty pleasure stories / tropes? So, okay. Yeah, so mine, I love to read fan fiction a lot. Like, I'll get in the angsty mood and just want to read all the hurt, comfort, and angst stories. Like, there's this one anime called Full Metal Alchemist, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, whichever version. They have all the versions in fanfic. But, like, please get abducted and tortured and hurt and then saved and put back together again, please? Yes? Please? Like, I love the breakdown and the pain and then the coming out of it again.
yeah.
So, I don't know. Those are my favorite guilty pleasure tropes of, yes, hurt them, but then save them.
Yeah, the comfort's only as good as the hurt is, you know? Like, you gotta hurt them a lot first, and then the comfort is just so nice after all of the torture.
Exactly.
Full Metal Alchemist already just hurts in general.
Yeah.
It's true.
Anybody else have any?
My favorite guilty pleasure trope / story is the soulmate AU, which is pretty much exclusively for right now in fan fiction. But I just love it. And I love like fated soulmates that just don't end up working out because, like Laura, I love pain. So, you know, enemies to lovers, soulmates, you know, rivals to lovers, soulmates, you know, someone who loses their soulmate at a young age, like any of it. Like, basically, as long as it's difficult for them to get together, I love it, which it's just so much fun. And, like, you can have so much fun writing soulmate stuff because you can get, like, really, really cheesy, but it also works because it's soulmates, like, literally soulmates. So I love those. I'm guilty for the miscommunication trope. I know a lot of people hate it. And
The wrong way, man.
I don't like it when it's done wrong, which I feel like everyone says about every trope ever. But
Yeah.
I do really enjoy a well done miscommunication trope. It's just toxic of me, but it's fine.
I feel like what I was gonna say is like the most incredibly inappropriate after that answer. So let's just jump right in. I love anything, and I don't even know if this is considered a trope. anything that's like that super dramatic Lifetime movie where she has to like kill the guy because he's crazy, because it's always a fireplace poker. Always.
Yep.
She
Yes.
always crawls across the floor. She always has to get him with the fireplace poker, and I live for it. Like,
I love
no
it.
matter how many times I see it, I'm just like, yeah, kill him. He deserves it. You know, and then, you know, or when they kill them but they're not dead, I love that. When they like stab him in the heart and then like 30 seconds later he gets up and he like wrenches the knife out of his chest and he's like running out. I'm just like, oh, it's just chef's kiss. I love it. And I don't know why. Like,
You can see why maybe you're anti-romance. You're like, oh, the romance. You're like, oh, I'll just have her kill him with a fire poker.
Honestly, I'm just a slut for enemies to lovers. I'm not gonna lie, I can't help it. The harder they fight and the more in denial they are, the more I love it. Especially if there's a love triangle included.
Yeah.
I just, it makes me happy.
Oh gosh.
Also, Porscha, you giving me concerns right now.
okay, somebody in the comments agrees. I do love the wrenching knife out of the chest. It's just something about it.
Is it
It's
the
just-
sound or?
It's just it's just peak drama. It's just like, you know, I'm so crazy, like even being stabbed directly in my heart doesn't kill me. And I'm gonna run after you with a frying pan. Like it's just
Yes.
Is it the false relief? Because like, oh, I killed him. And you think, oh, everything's good. Then you realize, oh, everything's not good.
right. And it's like he's not dead till he's actually laying face down in the swimming pool out front, which this is how you know I watch too many Lifetime movies, because like I'll watch it with my parents and
Yes.
we'll think the person is dead. And my dad is like, no, it's 35 minutes left. He ain't dead. And sure enough,
See, I watch it with my mom, and we do the thing like right when it starts, we write down our predictions. Like, who's gonna be one that snaps? Who's one who has like a hidden weird compartment in their basement? Who's hiding the body? Like, we have that. Then we have like, what's the actual twist? And then we put it up there. So when it actually happens, whoever wins is the one who doesn't have to do dishes or make dinner.
That's a great system.
It's
Nice.
fun, but it's even worse when you're like playing a drinking game with it.
Ooh.
Like,
Because you can get hammered on some of them with how many tropes they throw in, like a Hallmark Christmas movie.
that.
I'm sorry, you're going to go get your stomach pumped if you do a drinking game with one of those.
Or I think just for Lifetime movies alone, my favorite trope with that is the mother who's in denial that her son is batshit crazy. Just saying.
Yes.
Like, my son would never do that. Yes, ma'am, your son did. Because at the end,
You
it's
got,
like,
you got Norman Bates over there. Like, shut up.
protect him or is she gonna kill him? Because normally she just happened to kill him, but is she gonna do it though? I love that.
Bonus points for dead bodies in odd places, like suitcases and trunks and stuff like that. Which
I love a good freezer.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, okay, and I'm just like, how did you get this person? And it's always somebody that doesn't look like they could lift like the dead weight to get them in the freezer, but here we are.
And they just have food stacked up next to the deep freezer, like, oh yeah, let me go grab some pork chops next to this head in the freezer. It's okay.
Hannibal Lecter's freezer, you know, whatever. Contract relationship, and there's only one bed.
Ooh.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good.
So my dark fantasy romance may be a like arranged marriage where they meet at the altar.
Ooh, I
So,
love that. I love
That's the
those.
opening chapters, meeting at the altar and getting married. And then it's dark. So he is literally a knight in shining armor. We're going medieval here. And
Ooh.
his dad is a general. And he's like, peace out, I'm retiring, right as the war breaks out. And so literally the next day, he's like, dang it, I gotta go to war. So he leaves to be the new general. And so she's stuck with the father-in-law who hates her guts. And he stows her under the floorboards. So She's stuck under the floorboards. There's magic systems. There's blood magic and dream magic. So she can project herself in her dreams to his dreams, her husband's dreams. And like, he's like, what the heck is going on? She can't say where she is or who did it because of magic. And yeah, he's got to figure out where she is, and she's got to try and maybe kind of bond with the mother-in-law captor to try and be like, hey, get out of this relationship. So yeah,
Cool.
I don't know. It's a weird one.
Okay, I would 10 out of 10 read that. So I'm like, I need this. Like, you had me at floorboards. I don't know why I'm this person. Like, anything serial killer, anything where people are like trapped. Like, I watched the ID channel, My Mom and I. Like, anything where somebody's like trapped in a storage unit, like, because of a scorned lover. Like,
So we got love triangles and spicy love triangles.
I also love a spicy love triangle that turns into a throuple instead.
yes.
That's the only love triangle I like, was when all three sides are together.
So
I agree with you.
Soulmates with the red string, manga and webtoons. Let's see. Roguish character tropes. I love a good thief.
Everybody loves a thief. Especially one that steals my heart. Sorry, that was terrible. Okay, I'll leave.
No, that was perfect.
Holy smokes, it jumped. Okay. Oh, but houses still have fire pokers. Aren't most fireplaces electric? There's still some at my parents' house.
We had one, and also we had to hide it from the cats because they like to hide in the fireplace and play with the fire poker. I'm like, please don't. One of the cats was a black cat, so imagine that hiding inside where we can't see her. I'm like, ma'am, please. I'm reaching in like, let me go make sure the fire poker's still there, and her paw comes out and scares the crap out of me. Forward. I'm good.
Defeat the ex-boyfriend. So my main characters we have fireplace poker.
Maybe a knife
know.
straight to the chest. Put them in a freezer.
I was gonna
I
say
don't
burn,
know.
but fireplace poker.
The only romance I've ever read, I think, is Pride and Prejudice. So
I mean, that's the classic.
yeah, okay. The first time I started reading it for class, I had no clue who was talking, which dialogue lines, and so I watched the BBC miniseries, fell in love, and just like binge read it. I was like, yes, so good. But I think that's like the only romance I've ever read.
You read it in class. Did they make you popcorn read it?
I don't remember. It was high school.
We had to popcorn read it. So we did like really horrible English accents while doing it.
Oh no!
I remember nothing, so I have to reread it as an adult and try not to do the really horrible accent.
Gosh,
Oh yeah.
Odyssey.
Yes.
Odyssey.
that's
Yeah.
true. Enemies to lovers triangle is superior. Come on, man. Always the frying pan. Good torture scene. Yes, love a good torture scene. Although I could never watch the torture scene in Princess Bride when I was a kid.
You're like, what? What
Princess
torture-
Bride.
Pride and Prejudice? Which scene did you? Which BBC version did you watch?
Have you watched?
Right?
I want to know.
It's like, oh my god.
I don't know. I think I grew into it. Let's see. It's about the fight of all the grit and the shock of the fake death.
Yes. Also, yes. Like, it's all very dramatic.
Right, like Agnes and the Hitman. Her favorite weapon of choice is a barbecue fork. The one with the really long, sharp tongs.
Oh, I'm in.
No, no problem with the barbecue fork because those things are nice to have around. Those are.
What about like fondue forks for the fine work? You know. It's a really fun way to watch things. That's such a good idea.
Maybe
Yes.
I have a future in horror.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. You should.
Slow burn. Writing game where you put all the tropes in a hat, write flash short. I think could be fun.
Ooh.
Another game I've heard is you watch the trailer of like a B or a C movie and guess what the plot is going to be, and then you watch it and then write it better. Dead body in your place. It reminds me of Faulty Towers with John Cleese. It's an old TV show.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. So he runs a bed and breakfast hotel thing. And a guy dies in the middle of the night in his bed. And he's like, oh no, we gotta hide the body because we can't get this publicity out. And so they keep having to move the body to different locations in the hotel because people, like these old ladies, keep discovering it and freaking out because they think they killed him with the bad kippers. Because the kippers went bad and he ate them the night before and now he's dead. And of course they murdered him. And so he's in the basket. And then, like, no. It was so good.
Horror romance. They fall in love and have to kill her ex-lover with a fire poker and hide him under the floorboards. Yes! Write it. I need this.
Good night, Jabria.
Night, Jabria.
Okay, but knowing me, I would have to add some level of some type of paranormal or fantasy in it. So, what if his spirit is trapped in there as well?
Or he's buried under the floorboards, but when they go back to relocate the body, it's gone.
That's when you burn the whole place down. I'm good. Can't find them, burn it down and walk away. You're good.
I'm gonna fly away. I'm gonna get over the water because the zombie can't get a ticket for a flight. It's like I'm moving to England. See ya.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
but in this economy, whoever has the money, like, they're not really asking a lot of questions.
You guys ever seen the movie It Follows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, what would you do if there was a creature that would transform to look like anybody that would follow you at a walking pace and constantly, like, stalk you? So, like, you just have to, like, figure out its pace. Can it walk along the bottom of the ocean? Like, and figure out how long it would take for it to get to the other side of the world. So you have to figure out how often you have to move from continent to continent and just be like, so terrifying.
That's true. But if you're determined to stay in the same town, you have to be really good with fitness. At that point, you have to be jogging around the city, really sprinting everywhere. Like,
Yeah. Night, Wallace.
Night.
All right.
okay, but now I really want that horror romance.
Me too.
They fall in love, have to kill each other, kill her ex-lover with the fire poker. Night. It's like Telltale Heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
But can I do a horror comedy? Can it be
Oh, yeah.
like the Telltale Heart meets Weekend at Bernie's? Like, that's more
I'll
my
read the hell out of that. That sounds like fun.
The horror comedy movie that I love is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
It's like the beginning of the outbreak. They're just like walking to the pub, and you see people in the background just like talking, and all of a sudden somebody's head falls off in the background because somebody's chomping on it. It's like, wait, what did I see? It's a great way to start slipping it in. Just background.
I mean, if you're still sticking with the killing the ex-lover, if his trapped spirit killed the current boyfriend and then his spirit went into the boyfriend's body and he's trying to learn how to drive that vehicle that he's never driven before.
Ooh.
Imagine how awkward and funny and kind of horrifying that would be.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't remember what movie it is. I've only heard about it, but there's like a Freaky Friday body swap, but it's like a teenage girl and an axe murderer.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I
I
did
saw
not see
it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I saw a trailer for it.
Yeah. So the teenage girl is trying to strangle somebody but doesn't have the strength to do it. Like,
it.
can't do it, girl. Anyways, should we do another sprint?
Perhaps, maybe.
Baby? Okay, I will find a new timer. Because I don't have them pulled up because I was busy making a different one. Why not? Let's do this one. And I full screened it before I shared the screen. I am just brilliant. Crow tab.
Pro streamer.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I love this one.
Nice.
Okay. So let me do this. There we go. Okay. 20-minute sprints. So let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go. I forgot it had that ending sound. Oh my goodness. So, how did everybody do? I am at the climax of this flash fiction that I am reworking right now. So, the creature has been summoned. Many people are going to die. Pretty great.
I started. I went back to another map that I had started a weird shape with. Started trying to plan it out, and now I'm inking it ever so slowly.
Nice. I am actually reworking my writer schedule because I've been inspired during this conversation. So I was like, I actually do want to write. So I'm figuring out when I would like to write for the coming couple weeks.
Awesome. And Katie Ann says, so sorry, friends, but I gotta hop off now. Remember to like the stream and subscribe, and have a great rest of the WWW. Lisa, I once again just watched The Voice, but I'm thinking about writing a cover letter. I'm also waiting for my phone to charge so I can take it with me to clean. Nice.
Honestly, it was really, really hard to not sit here and start throwing down ideas from the last time I sat there talking and just pretty much brainstorming everything. I was like, nope, just focus on the map. My head's like, ooh, write down so many. No.
If you don't write them down, they're gonna flit away.
I need them to flit away. I have too many projects.
Oh no!
I have too many projects.
What's one more project to your group of 26? Come on.
I already added 3 today from earlier.
Oh,
I didn't need to.
come on. Make it an even 56. Come on.
Like, this is why, like, when I'm saying, oh, yeah, I'm working on a Druid's Oath, this is why it's taking so long, because I keep stopping and getting distracted, and I'm like, let me go ahead and start. I have to do a story seed, so I literally do a story seed, and then I do a very loose outline of every idea.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I need no more. But you can totally write the Porscha.
No, above my pay grade. So we're gonna have to know about that. But thank you.
But I need that fire poker moment. I need that. See?
Want to write our horror comedy romance with the fire poker?
Like, I was thinking, I was like, how hilarious would it be if a couple thinks they killed somebody, but the person was already dead?
Exactly.
Like, the person's already dead, but they think they killed them. Like, I'm thinking like they're going on a honeymoon to like a deserted place that's supposed to be romantic. There's a dead body in the driveway, but they don't know, and they think they've like hit this person that was alive,
Right.
and killed him.
I like it a lot.
But now, like, who actually killed them? And are they still there?
Oh, they're still there.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
And it's the little old lady. You know it's a little old lady. You think she wouldn't do that, but she did.
And her name is Teresa, and she's evil. But she also bakes really good brownies.
Peppermint brownies?
Brownies.
Yeah.
Are they peppermint brownies?
No, because I don't like peppermint, but I'm sure for other people that would be really nice.
They look like dark chocolate.
Oh, that would be nice. Dark chocolate brownies. That she's putting just a little bit of poison in, and what happens is she's poisoning everybody that comes to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Have you seen Arsenic and Old Lace?
No, I haven't. I should.
Ah, so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if our undead ex-boyfriend inhabited the new boyfriend, and if that girlfriend realizes it's not her boyfriend anymore. Love the secretly evil grandma. She put something in the brownies that the old man was allergic to / poison.
Yes.
I mean, he could either try to figure out, like, is it worth it? Is she chill with it? How does she react? And if she reacts badly, he might have to kill her and then go find a new love.
It might be pufferfish poison.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Or to make it not so, like, what if it's cherry seeds? Because enough of cherry seeds powdered up is actually quite poisonous.
Oh.
Just sprinkle that in the brownies.
Or my personal favorite, eye drops. Clear, odorless. They are poisonous if, consumed.
This is a little disturbing, but a good place to insert a needle to kill somebody is under a nail.
I was going to say between the toes.
That too, but under the fingernail.
Duly noted.
We need to write a murder story.
We know this.
Yes, I think so too. Let's see.
What if the girlfriend brought the new boyfriend there purposely so she could get her undead ex-boyfriend back?
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like it.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. But that means she would have to help him try to learn how to work the new body, which where the comedy could come in.
Antifreeze in the greens.
I'm
That
not
girl's are smart. What has the stream become?
The best stream. That's what it's become. The best.
Wait, so the girlfriend conspired with the ex-boyfriend to kill her new boyfriend so she could come back with him?
Possibly. Because what if it's a love triangle and the new boyfriend thinks that he's been chosen, but really he's not the choice, so she's going to use him to get back with the ex.
The murder
The
stream.
murder stream. Yeah. This is so good. I have ideas. Okay. It's so sad that I need somebody else to write these because I actually don't write fiction. So, sorry.
If you want to go a whole different route, and she did conspire with the ex-boyfriend to get the new boyfriend, what if after killing the new boyfriend, she slowly realizes the ex-boyfriend wasn't talking to her the entire time? She just kind of had a moment because she couldn't cope with the fact that her ex-boyfriend died.
Oh.
At that point, she could move along and then find a new boyfriend and start all over again.
I'm getting some Hellraiser vibes from the
Or,
story.
or neither of them exist, and they're personalities that she made up, and she's really in a mental institution. Neither of these men exist. We don't find that out till the end, though.
So I read a really cool little flash piece where someone is in an asylum and they're watching the person across the hall from them, and they're like, they're having it rough. They look so down and just out of it and like decrepit, and they keep mimicking them. And so when the main character is like, well, like, this dude is like, he has the same like room that I have, but of course, because it's an asylum. And then when his door handle goes down, the other guy's door handle goes down because it's actually a mirror.
Oh.
He's watching himself. I was like, oh.
Oh.
It was really cool.
Oh.
Like, wait.
What if the possession went wrong and they have to share the body? Or what if the new boyfriend was a spiritual entity who was deceiving her into thinking she was conspiring with her ex-boyfriend to kill him, but she kills her ex instead?
Oh.
Ooh, but wait, sharing a body? And she thinks it's one of them. It's actually both!
See, if they're sharing the body and it's both, they'll have to work together somehow. See,
But they hate each other, but they have to share this body. Oh, that would be hilarious.
But see, me writing that would end up making that enemy celebrities, and end up falling in love with each other, and then just leaving her all together, which makes no sense because they're sharing the same body.
It's my turn on Wednesdays. I'm in control.
Can you imagine the fights though? Like, hey, stop eating those waffles on Tuesdays. You know I hate that. Like, can you imagine that conversation?
Amazing. Oh. Okay.
Someone's gonna go to bed dreaming of this, and I'm just so sorry.
So, to segue a little from murder, what are your favorite and least favorite parts of writing?
Favorite is absolutely world building.
Hence
Absolutely
the map
world-
making.
Oh yeah, map making, everything. I love world building because the sky's the limit, and it feels so lively. It feels so real by the time you're done. Least favorite, removing words. I hate removing. Like, I overwrite very easily, but trying to take stuff away, I don't like. So I'm like, but I need this. It's like, I don't actually need it. Just move it. And I'm fully aware that I don't need these words. I can just move them and recycle them elsewhere. But it hurts.
Mhm.
That I get emotional about it for no reason. So yeah, I don't like removing words.
If you version up, though, you still have the old words. So just have different versions.
My favorite part is the murder.
And my least favorite part is the editing. Dolores, editing. I hate editing. I love creating the worlds and characters.
Yes.
Undead ex-boyfriend wants to kill the body so he can be himself again. New boyfriend wants to expel the ex so he has full control of the body again. As soon as they start sharing the body, the book switches to a dual POV of boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay, so Lisa, I need this. Like, I need you to find me on Instagram or Twitter or something. If you have socials, like, we need to discuss. We need to.
That's exactly what I said. Yes.
Oh, nice. So for me, favorite parts of writing are drafting, and I'm starting to really like revision a lot. Surprisingly, I used to hate it. Least favorite parts of writing is submission, deadlines, and formatting, and everything that has to do with actually sending it out into the world to people. Because I usually have to write a bio and all the things, and I hate the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I swear, sometime soon, someone is going to publish a book, and they are going to say that this was idea that came from one of these streams. Nice. I don't know. For me, I don't know. Like, I have different processes for the different lengths of stories that I write.
Mm-hmm.
I outline for my novels. I pants my short pieces.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know. I keep getting stuck in the in-between zone. Like, I can pants a flash fiction just fine. I can pants a drabble 100 words just fine. But the short stories where it's like 5,000 words, I keep getting stuck. And so my least favorite part is having a story where it's like not quite long enough for a submission. And it's like, dang it, how do I expand this? No! Expansion hurts so bad. I can shrink it, I can make it more concise, I can take out a couple of words here and there, but expanding it, I'm such an underwriter.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Every time I've tried to write, and I shouldn't say I'm not a fiction writer. I will say it's what I have the least practice at. I'm sure if I sat down and practiced, and I've been saying I want to try maybe Flash and kind of start working the fiction muscles, but I've noticed the same thing about me when I would try to do NaNoWriMo. And it's like, okay, write a whole novel. I either, if I shoot for a novel, I get this weird thing that's too long to be a short story, but it's not a novel. And people are like, novella. And I'm like, yeah, but do people really, I mean, do they sell well? Like, is there really a place for novella?
I
Probably
think you
right.
can compile novellas together into a collection.
Okay.
I love how you say, practice at your writing and stuff like that. Ma'am, I read some of your work. Excuse me? Excuse me? You realize I struggled to get to where you're at, right?
No, because I've also read your work, and that's not true. Your world building is bar none.
Yeah, that's my world building. The actual writing is a whole different story. I literally struggle to get to what you showed me, and I'm staring at it like, you're saying, oh, if I get better. If you get better? Are you serious?
That is very kind of you, but
No buts.
Yeah, no buts. Oh, Lisa, please do. Please.
yes,
I need to read this. I need to.
yes, please.
So for flash fiction, I'd never heard of it until a year and a half ago. And I was reading the writing craft book, The Anatomy of Prose by Sasha Black. And one of the word experiments things that they want you to do is to write a flash piece to practice description and things like that so that you can have faster iterations at incorporating these techniques. So I wrote a flash piece called Rise of Cthulhu, and everything since then was history. So to keep it short enough to be a flash, I usually limit my first draft to 40 minutes max. So I have a whole video on it, but I also have a podcast episode that came out yesterday. So I have a whole process. I'll get the book.
I'm not good at short stories. I tend to overwrite. I can't do it.
Thanks, Jules. Yeah, The Anatomy of Prose by Sasha Black.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
she is on YouTube. She has a podcast, the Rebel Author Podcast. But I found her through her interview with iWriterly about writing with the 5 senses. There's a whole chapter in here. So if you want that chapter, but in audio form with slides, just YouTube search iWriterly Sasha Black 5 senses. So it's amazing. But that's what got me to get that book. But yeah, my process basically is find a prompt, stare at the prompt for a couple minutes. Usually I use a painting for a prompt lately. So my last 2 ones was a Beksinski painting and a Salvador Dali painting. And so I stare at that for a minute or two just to get the cogs turning. And then I set a timer, usually for 20 minutes. And then I will just go for it. Just sprint. And then take a break of 3 minutes and read over, see where it's at, just breathe, and then do the next 20 minutes and sprint again. So if it's a longer flash piece, if it actually gets to 1,000 words, it takes a full 40 minutes. But if mine are only 300, 400 words, it only takes the 20 minutes. So that's how I get the first draft, which makes me keep it compact.
Okay.
So usually when I have a third of the timer left, I have to be at the climax of the story. So I have to veer left and just if I'm not at the climax yet, just veer left and make it a climax. So it makes me think outside the box and just go crazy and think of things that I wouldn't normally think of. And if I don't like where it ends up, that's what editing is for. I'll write my original thought of ending because now I have time to get it there. But yeah, I usually like my veer left endings better. So
Wow. Okay.
It's fun.
Now I really want to try Flash because
Right?
it's 1,000 words or less, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's something I feel like it's like relatively low stakes. Like I feel like I can try it and just have fun with it, and it's not like write a novel.
Yeah. Let me show one that I just wrote this week. So it doesn't even have to be normal prose. So like this one is kind of like an ode. So it's called Still Human.
Oh, I love odes. Okay.
Okay. My skin is not mine. I can feel it pulled tight, digging into my razor ribs, muscles as thin as cobalt-dyed wires. Every tendon snaps over bone when I move. My eyes are not mine. They glow with inhuman whiteness, too pure to have seen what I have. They spin and swivel in their sockets without a hitch, well lubricated and maintained. My hands are not mine. They seem to multiply when doing the tasks I'm assigned, rapidly handling, packaging, scoping out details to relay. I can't keep track of them mentally. They mimic others instead of following my human suppressed will. I don't have feet. They're not needed. I'm placed exactly where I need to be. There is no need to go elsewhere. Why would I trust myself to think I know better where to go or exist than my superiors? I'm fine where I'm at. Right. Of course. I don't have legs. For the same purpose as not having feet anymore, but I still get phantom pains from time to time. A ghost of a thigh, a whisper of a tibia, an itchy knee. Sometimes I swing them back and forth under my chair until I remember they're gone. Taken. Obsolete.
Ooh.
I don't have organs. What use are organic tissue that break down and are prone to sickness? No, I have been saved from so much undue pain and mortal issues by their kindness. Mechanical is the way to go. Has been for the past 50 years. Don't I remember? My second kidney was the final organ to go after it malfunctioned for the last time, causing bile and inefficient filtration. I'm much better off without it. Sure. My brain is mine. Despite the inhibitor chips and blocked synapses, there are still some original thoughts in there. Some things I can hide. I siphon them into the deep, dark recesses where they fester, transform, become. Still human. My personality is mine. They haven't been able to program my sass yet. Program out my sass yet. Oh, they've tried, but I can slip between their zeros and ones with pure human audacity. Find every loophole and exploit it with resistance and sarcasm. They plug the gaps in the programming as fast as I find them, but there will always be more. My soul is mine. No nut or bolt can touch that. No programming remove it. It's free. Free to haunt them once I'm obsolete and my mortal coil of wires destroyed. My soul will get my revenge, for the next life is for eternity.
Ooh.
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 Oh
So-
my gosh, that's so good. That's amazing.
Holy crap.
So it's pretty much what I wrote in 20 minutes. I just got some beta feedback this morning, and so I added more sass to the beginning. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So it can be more of a narrative. It can be more of an ode, character study. They're just go crazy.
Holy crap.
Okay, I definitely want to try that. And that is amazing. Like I am, wow. Like,
Thanks.
so I want to try. Now, my first few probably won't be that good, so let's all manage expectations.
I've been doing Flash for 1.5 years now, so it's gotten easier.
First of all, Porscha, bold of you to assume that I have expectations of this.
Okay. He says, I want to learn from all of you. You three have such different skill sets and you're so talented. Yay. Hello, Esther. Sometimes those are the best stories.
Absolutely.
And Jules is amazing. There's the Anatomy of Prose and the workbook by Sasha Black. And the interview. Hello, Heather. Going to get some Z's to be able to catch some of the morning streams. I hope you learn a lot about flash fiction and get all those words. Yay. Editing. I love editing stuff. I love drafting short pieces. My least favorite is drafting longer pieces.
Another least favorite is definitely the positive side of feedback. Whenever I ask someone for feedback, I'm expecting them to give me like, "Oh, this is what's wrong. This, can you fix this?" Blah blah blah. I'm expecting that. So when someone says something good, I don't know how to process that. It's like, just get to the negatives. I need to know what to fix. I don't know how to process good stuff, so I just sit there like, I'm uncomfy. So
do you get the Oreo or the sandwich feedback? Where it's a positive at the beginning and then everything you need to fix and then a positive again at the end?
I try to ask for like negative, like giving the negatives first, and then I kind of just ignore the positives, which I try not. I shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't.
No.
If we're on stream or face to face, I kind of can ignore it, and I kind of just go, "Yeah, I'm listening."
Oh no!
But it's funny you should say that because I'm fine with good feedback as long as it's not completely superfluous. That's fine. Give me good compliments. You like it, great. I don't like empty feedback or feedback I can't do anything with. You know how sometimes you'll get feedback and good feedback is just like, I love it, it's great. Or bad feedback is just like, I don't like this. I can't do anything with that. Please give actual feedback.
Yeah.
Like,
So how do you guys find places, like find people to give feedback? You just ask friends that you know?
Actually, I've never actually reached out. They usually reach out to me, which has helped me a lot. So that usually helps a lot.
It was good.
Yes.
Oh, like
Like it was bad, but what about it was bad? What parts? Is it the whole thing as a whole? Well, like, give me details. I need details.
right. So people reach out to you. Your name is redacted. I didn't know you were a writer town already.
When Michael's name popped up, I couldn't help. I thought it was redacted, and I started laughing. Actually, the toughest critics I have are my writing siblings. And then my most fearful,
Nice.
my biggest fear, the main person I fear the most getting something back from is Kiera Elrose. And I'm like, just tell me. And the thing is, she's never mean about anything, and that makes it worse. I just like, just tell me, just be brutal. And she's like, I don't need to be brutal. We don't need to do that. No, we don't have to do that. And she tells me, and it's almost in a motherly tone, and I don't know how to handle that. So I'm like, oh no, oh no. But her constructive criticism, it's so helpful, and through her like helping me out, I felt like I've grown. So like, it's super helpful. Also, I have like fears. You scare me too.
What? Okay. How? So, yeah, I'll definitely run things by the writer siblings. If for poetry, because I'm the only poet in the family, I will go to like people I've taken workshops with or poetry classes with Be like, hey, can you read for me? And then once it gets to where I feel like it's something that might be decent, I will try to get into a workshop, or I will try to workshop it with an old professor or a mentor that can kind of get a really good look at it and see if it's publication ready. I submit to anthologies a lot, so I kind of am able to see, so I can see if I can submit it somewhere. Because I love submitting in theory. It's just the practical put it in Times New Roman, because I don't like Times New Roman. It's just the practicality of we have a very specific format. I will follow that format. I will grumble, but I will follow that format. And I was like, now it's ugly because it's exactly.
It also doesn't help that every submission has different guidelines for different formatting.
Yes.
It's like, we want tabs. We want no tabs. We want page numbers. We want a header. Like, we want Sheen manuscript format with your address. Like,
my personal favorite is the type font. Be like, we know it's not typewritten, but give me type font, because that's the classic submission type. And then I was just like, I've changed this font 4 times for 4 different publications, and then you get the rejections back from all 4 of them, and it's like, well, that was fun.
You know what I don't like about rejections is when you get a rejection, but they sit there and praise you the entire time.
Yes.
I've had that happen several times. For my second book, when I thought that was going to be my first book, I set that off and I was like, okay, let me see. I got rejections. It's like, but this is what we love about it. So why did you reject it? Don't do that. Just say no, but let me live.
Yeah, it's so hard. For me, the please don't hate me rejections are really hard, because I got rejected from a poetry workshop that was pretty much, I was okay with being rejected. They were just like, I think there were 12 slots. They got like a few hundred applications. It was just, so they were like, there were some really great people that they just didn't have room for. I was like, okay. But it's this long whole page thing. Please don't feel that you're not good enough. And I'm like, I don't. And they were just like, we don't want you to lose hope in the submission process. And I'm like, but I haven't. Like, it was this whole page of like, don't hate us. And I was like, but I don't. It's because I was actually having this conversation. Grayson, I don't remember if you were there. Kira Elrose, I told her, I was like, submitting is like dating. Just because somebody, it's not the right fit for them, it's not personal to you, it doesn't mean that it's like you're not great, you're just not for them. And then you just move on to like the next. You just keep dating. You keep dating until something sticks. So I don't take rejection personal. I threatened to send the next thing in Comic Sans, but I was just like, you're getting it in Comic Sans next time. Because I was like, I formatted this for you. And
That
threat is real.
You might open up a document like, let me read this, and you see Comic Sans. I cry. Let me log out for the day. I'm done. Just
Oh my gosh. There are different publications that are like, make sure you don't have track changes on. Like, people will have their beta reader feedback still in the document and submit it. It's like, what? Oh no. This is like, I was watching Book and Lane for their publishing agency for books, like novels, and sometimes they get the track changes in the document, and they're like, sometimes we want to read that beta reader feedback and think, why didn't they incorporate that? So, oh no!
How dare you use that against me?
Exactly. Yeah, I like to find beta reader feedback through Discords a lot. So I'm in the Toronto Sci-Fi and Fantasy / Dark Horror Writers of Toronto group on there, and so we meet like 2 or 3 times every week, and we'll read stories up to 2,000 words each, and just go through and critique each other.
Ooh.
So that's really helpful. So we have a Google Doc, and so we all type in each other's docs. So that's nice. But other places in like other Discords, they'll have a beta reader channel that you can just request. But yeah, like I don't know. I sent a physical copy of my collection to my mother, and she wrote in it and stuff, and then never sent it back to me. So it's like ah.
I can't send anything to my mom, especially not my fantasy, because again, the majority of my main characters are teens. And she goes, "Why do you make them live such traumatic lives, Mom?"
That's what makes it interesting.
She starts like putting logic. Where's the mother, Mom? Why are they hurt, Mom? Just read the story. You can't mother the fictional children. She's like, but why? Okay, I'm good. Or she'll go into therapy mode because she's a therapist, and she'll be like, "Where's this trauma coming from? Why are they holding this baggage? Why can't they release it?" I was like, pause, let me write this down. That's the only time I'm like, okay, yes, tell me more.
So I am going through my middle grade horror novel right now with my mother in a Google Doc. And we're going through line by line with the thesaurus and just trying to amp up the voice of the character. And so we've gone through 5 or 6 chapters so far, and oh my gosh, it is better now, but it's so fun doing it with somebody. Like it's really nice because writing is usually pretty solitary.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get out of my apartment more now. Like this week, I went on the haunted ghost tour of Toronto.
Ooh.
So it was an hour and 15 minutes, and we just walked around downtown to different locations, and the guide would tell the ghost stories that happened around those locations. And it was pretty fun. So got some story ideas there. And next weekend, I'm going to the world's largest sticker museum and store. So that's in Toronto. 3 stories of stickers.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I need a plane ticket because I love stickers. I have an entire shelf of just all stickers over here off screen. So I'm like, I need.
Let's see. What is the outside? Let me see if I can find a picture of the outside because it's really cool.
Right? See, when you mentioned the ghost tour, that reminded me of when we first got here in Corpus Christi. There is a nice long walk between Corpus Christi and Portland and another city, right? And you can walk between the waters and the bodies of water, things like that. It's very peaceful, very nice. One of my partners is like, "Oh, let me show you guys how this is." And as we're walking through, he's telling stories about what's going on. He's like, "Oh yeah, I used to go here a lot when I was a kid." Like he's telling his own childhood stories. Then he goes, "This is where a girl had drowned herself." We're like, "Wait."
Oh my gosh.
This is at like 1, 2 in the morning, so we pause. And I'm like, I'm going back to the car. I'm good. I just turned off.
So, okay, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
excited.
I would never leave. That's so dope.
I know.
Yeah.
I need to get a plane ticket and go there.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So I have some other 2 friends who were like, "You gotta get out of your apartment." And so they're like, "These are where we would want to go. So you go and we live vicariously through you." So I have to come back and report on the sticker store.
Yes.
They probably will let me vlog it. Probably. It's publicity. It's not like you're going to stop and print screen my image and print a sticker out of it. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I need to get out of the house. Like I am horrible. I'm horrible at getting out of the house. There used to be a time in the before times I was really great about going out. I went out a lot. We live in a kind of rural area, and I don't drive, so there's not a lot of places I can walk to. And but they started this car service that's a little sketchy, but somebody that lives in my neighborhood that's new here, he started like a alternate car service because we don't really have Uber or Lyft here. So I'm wondering, should I pay this strange man to take me into town to go to the bookstore or to go on like author dates with myself?
Hey, the strange man.
Like we don't know. He just moved to the area. Nobody knows him. Nobody can vouch for this guy. It's just a guy like with a van. So
Is it a white van with no windows?
You remember when we talked about lifetime movies? And then you asked, should I pay the strange man to take me on author dates with myself? By yourself? But then you don't know.
Why the strange
Murder.
Porscha, no!
So okay, so we'll just work around hubby's schedule, and maybe he'll take me into town on his way to work, and he'll come back and get me on his way. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's a little less creepy.
Yeah, just
Yeah, do you have public transit?
you sit up in the car, and that's where you might find a body in the car.
Let's
workshop this. Okay, so this sounds like my mom, like the let's workshop this, because I often come up with terrible ideas, and I'll call my mom, and I'm like, so what do you think about? And she's just like, yeah, let's not. So our personal favorite, there was a writer's workshop was it Chicago? Yeah, I think it was in Chicago. This was maybe 2015. This is a while back. And I was between jobs and I really wanted to go. And I said, because they were like they were doing like a continental breakfast and the box lunches and all of this. It was a free 2-day conference.
Oh, wow.
So I said, how can I do this? And I was like, there's a Chinatown bus I was living in DC at the time. There's a Chinatown bus that goes from DC to Chicago. Well, the Chinatown buses were illegal and they often broke down and had problems or whatever. So I said, but if I take the Chinatown bus to go to Chicago and I just stay in the bus station and don't get a hotel and just go to the writers conference. So then I tried to recruit. I was like, all I need is one friend to come with me to Chicago on a potentially unregulated bus and stay in the bus station, right? I was like, continental breakfast, box lunch. I was like, we all know how to do the thing where you wait, you stick around and pretend like you have questions for the presenter, and then you put an extra box lunch in your bag, right? So then that's your dinner. So then we'll just like go back to the bus station. So I had this whole plan, but nobody wanted to do this. So finally, so this is on Facebook, and I get a call from my mother. And my mom was like, what the hell, Porscha? She was like, you know. And my mom always starts out with, I know you're an adult and I technically can't tell you no. She's like, I'm vetoing this. This can't happen. She was like, we're not going to do this. And I was like, but why not?
Where are your self-preservation instincts?
I don't have any. And it's weird.
Well, you see that now.
Oh, gosh.
Just hearing that gave me all sorts of anxiety. I'm like, Porscha, no. Porscha, no. Porscha, no.
So, yeah, so okay, maybe we'll do something else. But I do need to get out more. Maybe I'll find what we do have is there's a lot of the oh God, what do you call those? The co-working spaces near where my husband works. So I've been thinking about getting one of those.
Ooh.
And I can just go up a couple days a week with him, and it's really walkable place, and get out, see the sights.
Nice.
Safety is for the living.
Safety is for the living.
Well, she said it'll be story material.
Yeah.
Again, lifetime.
Oh, that's really sweet of you. I really appreciate that. I'm sure, look, I will figure something out. I just have not looked into it seriously. I'm sure there's other people that's not the weird guy with the van. Like,
Since the panini happened, they have canceled bus service, like the Greyhounds. They're
Mhm.
gone now. Like I can't take the Greyhound from Toronto to Niagara Falls anymore. Like they might come back, but they've been. I needed to do a border run to go get my work visa, and the Greyhounds were gone.
Wow.
Wow.
So I had to get out to the airport, rent a car from the airport, and drive to Niagara Falls and back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is weird guy with van story. You know, the fact that I have multiple weird guy with van stories should surprise no one.
Oh,
And I'm still alive.
And then you love the fire poker murders. So I'm starting to see a pattern. Again, concerns rising, a little bit of anxieties there.
So one of my friends was like, but what then she's like, but you're probably the serial killer, not the person you're riding with. And I was like, no, I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't like for my hands to be dirty. I have a lot of sanitizer here. Like I don't like.
There's gloves.
I think I would have a texture issue with being a serial killer because it's so much blood and gore. Like,
I mean, you can also just get used to it, though.
do you? Because I don't feel like.
So my family hunts a lot, and I was in charge of skinning and actually, cleaning out the bodies. At first, that's disgusting. It's a negative, but you kind of get used to it, and you just treat it like it's nothing. And then once I got to that point, I was like, "Ooh, I don't like this," because like okay, just start doing my thing, and I'm like, "This doesn't." Well, it is normal for me. It's like this isn't normal. I don't.
you're too desensitized.
Too desensitized.
Bodies. That's the punchline. We're all serial killers.
And on that note, we should do our final 10-minute sprint.
Listen, me without caffeine, I might turn into one. Have you ever seen me without caffeine? That's a negative. The withdrawals hurt. You have to clean up shit, bring extra.
Okay. Let's do our final 10-minute sprint just to meet our quota, and then we will come back and probably just do some outros. So 3, 2, 1, go! All right, that was the final sprint. Woohoo! Okie dokie. So, I edited that flash piece called Released at Last, and I'm picking over the wording of one sentence, one little dialogue. I'm trying to decide whether, like, how much to show at the beginning, how much you find out later, but I don't want the end to be like, what the heck? So, yeah, that's what I did.
I ran to the kitchen to put on some ramen because I realized I've been eating. I was like, I just ate a few hours ago, but I realized that a few hours ago was 7 in the morning, so it's been almost 24 hours. Yeah. So I did that.
I was looking at craft books because once I look at one craft book and write it down, I start looking at craft books to add to my list. So now I have an excuse to buy more books.
Yay! Awesome.
If you do get some, you have to let me know which ones you get.
Yes.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
I'm absolutely getting that one. That's already in the cart.
I added that to my list the second you put that up the first time. It's like, and add.
Yeah, that one is amazing. And if you want to write horror, this is the best horror writing craft book I've found. Writing in the Dark by Tim Wagner. So he is I think he's a Bram Stoker Award winner. He's written a lot. He's actually written some IP, like he wrote a Supernatural book.
Ooh.
But yeah,
That's also now added.
the chapters are Chapter 1, Why Horror Matters. Chapter 2, Things Unknown. Chapter 3, Everything You Know Is Wrong. Chapter 4, Hello, darkness, my old friend. Like ice cream, horror comes in many different flavors. Strange notions, where do you get weird ideas? Done to Death, how to avoid cliches and write original horror fiction. Where no monster has gone before, how to build a better monster. The Horror Writer's Palette, using dread, terror, horror, shock, and disgust in your writing. The Horror Hero's Journey. So horror fiction's version of the hero's journey and how to use it to generate ideas and plots for stories. Down to the Bone, horror fiction is the most effective when written in an immersive point of view. More Than Meat, how to make your characters strong and interesting, including characters who will become casualties during the course of your story.
Ooh.
Hurts So Good, characters in horror fiction should suffer more than just physical pain.
Ooh.
Psychology of Fear. Techniques for creating and maintaining suspense. Stylistic techniques for writing effective horror fiction. Writing effective action scenes in horror fiction. And how to deal efficiently with extreme and violent content. And then a little one on marketing.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. Those are my top 2 writing craft books. Yeah.
That's added to my list as well. Thank you for that.
Yay! Yeah. So we are at about time. So do we want to do some introductions?
Sure. What up, everybody? My name is Grayson Wilde, and I write with pride. I like diving into fantasy and warm bucks with coffee. And on to you, Porscha Simmons.
Hi, I'm Porscha Simmons. This has been a blast. Thank you so much for inviting me, Laura. And I write poetry and essay. And as you can see, I'm just a little Scotia crazy, but it's all in good fun.
Until strange vans get involved. And my name is Laura. You are on my channel. It's called Laura Niddles. Fancy that. I have a podcast called Twisted Tendrils Horrific Writing Advice. 12 episodes are out so far, including, let me find the list. Oh my gosh. So, Who Am I? Why Horror? Atmosphere, How Do? 12 literary devices, like anthropomorphism, personification, alliteration, different things. Fear of the Unknown, Writing with the Five Senses, Filling the Creative Well, 5 horror subgenres, Best Representations of Witches, Don't Be a Tortured Artist, with our lovely Porscha, Painting Stories with the Horror Writer's Palette, The Importance of Sadness in Horror or in Fiction, and my new one this week was How to Write Flash Fiction. So if you want in-depth how-to, episode 12. Episode 13 will be submitting pieces, how to submit, best practices, best places to find places to submit to. So that's coming.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. If you are on the playlist, it should shoot you on to the next one. And if not, the playlist is linked in the description, as are these lovely folks' links. So I will see you guys all